Guys, check this out. What is this? Well, it looks like what could be the next generation 2024 Toyota Tacoma truck. But is it? In this video, I'm going to explain everything about this, where we found these images, where this originated, and what kind of I think about it. So first of all, this news comes to us from Tacoma4G.com forum. So what these guys kind of figured out, they went to Brazilian patent office or the design mark office, and they found this documentation. So this is from, if you can see that URL right there, from Government Brazil site. So this was filed recently, and this image was recently added as well to this document. So what is this? Is something about this truck being patented or design marked or trademarked in Brazil, and what's happening here? Well, first of all, when a company trademarks something or patents something, it doesn't mean that it's going to production. And this appears to be a Tacoma-sized truck with its design, but in Brazil, they don't sell the Tacoma. In Brazil, Toyota sells the Hilux. Here I am on the Toyota.com Brazilian site, and you can see different Hilux truck models. Hilux is a mid-sized truck with quite a lot of payload that's also sold around the world in Australia and other markets. So Brazil is included in this. So what is happening here? Well, this truck, these images, and there's a lot of detail in this. We can see the grille, the front lights. It resembles some of the elements like the front lower fascia here. Reminds me of the current new Tundra. But we also see the fender flares. We also see a little bit up close from the front in the profile with the latest fender flares. And of course in the rear, this is really interesting because this is kind of our first look at the tailgate, at the lights and how the bumper integrates into the rear bedside and the rear bumper. There's no hitch here, and there's also no suspension shown in this image. Just the wheels appear to be just floating in space. But I think the stance of the truck looks fairly normal, and if I was kind of using the conservative eye of a Toyota designer, I might actually create a production truck that looks like this for the next Tacoma. But that's just me. Does it mean that this is Toyota unveiling their next Tacoma? No, there's no official word from Toyota. This is based on design images from the Brazilian office. But the reason why I'm doing this video, there's a lot of detail here, and that's why I wanted to show you this first, including the rear glass on the cab. You can see that opening space. Reminds me of a Ford Ranger, in fact, how the Ford Ranger does. I was hoping that rear glass may be actually a roll-down one, kind of like the Tundra, or maybe a larger section of it would roll down, but at least in these images, it's shown as a smaller port window in the back. So you might be saying, wait, I've seen something like this. Well, you would be right. And even on the forum, this image is shown. So on December 14th, let me go here to tfltruck.com. On December 14th, 2021, Toyota had this overarching electrified day, and they showed many different concepts. And this is also another concept they showed. They didn't name it. They just showed this could be a future of electrification for Toyota. And this truck looks very, very similar in design, other than the grille. You can see to the new patent, even to the vents in the front fender flare, even to some of the wheel design, and etc., etc. So it looks very, very similar to what was shown by Toyota. This image is also interesting because look, it shows the rear suspension. This reminds me of the current Tundra because the Tundra switched over to a coil spring multi-link rear solid axle suspension, and we know that the Tacoma and of course the Sequoia that's already out and the Tundra will share its chassis. It's a modular TNGA-F platform, so that makes a lot of sense that it would have a rear multi-link system, and also there's here poking out a little exhaust pipe. I don't know what that means because this is supposed to be their electrified solution. But I also am going to show you what other information we have about the upcoming Tacoma as far as hybrid technology is concerned. So this is from the Brazil Patent Office. I showed the document to you. There's a URL. It's quite complex. It's hard to get to, and you have to search very a long time. And my colleague Zach actually was able to find this. Thank you, Zach. So, and here's a part of that document you can see here. Okay, so let's put this aside for just a second. We also have some information from an insider source, once again, not officially from Toyota, about the next Tacoma using turbocharged power and hybrid power. So we have some information. For example, the current 2023 Highlander SUV is using a 2.4 turbocharged four-cylinder engine with 265 horsepower and 309 pound-feet of torque. I expect very similar engine to be available in the Tacoma. Mounted, of course, in the configuration for the truck, rear-wheel drive based chassis, not front-wheel drive based chassis like the Highlander. And then there's a hybrid. So Toyota also has just shown, and it's coming on sale, the Crown sedan, but also it's a little bit taller sedan, so it's almost kind of a crossover. The Crown has a Hybrid Max powertrain, which is based on a turbocharged 2.4 liter, but also has electric motor and motors, multiple, and a power output of 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque approximately. Those are great numbers. And because the next Colorado is going to have turbocharged power, 310 horsepower and about 430 pound-feet of torque in its maximum high output configuration, this number looks competitive, more horsepower, a little bit less torque to the current Colorado. And of course, the next generation Ranger is supposed to come this year as well with an upgraded turbocharged power. At least that's what I think. So this makes a lot of sense that the next Tacoma will have turbocharged power, four-cylinder engine, and also hybrid solution, very similar to the Tundra. So all of that makes sense. This is a prototype that Toyota has been running for many months and years, including in Colorado. And also their office, the patent office, they have the Tundra on their patent office website. So they don't sell the Tundra in Brazil. So yes, so companies like Toyota and others use different countries and different patent offices and design trademarks to actually, show some details. So is this kind of an accidental reveal? It's possible. Am I gonna put my money on it right now? I would say no. I think I want to learn a little bit more and have some official word from Toyota about this. But this appears to be fairly interesting. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think? If this was the next gen Tacoma that would come out within the next year to go on sale, are you excited by this? What do you think about them switching to turbocharged power or hybrid power? And also let me know what specs would you like to see from the next Tacoma as far as payload or towing or maybe some other features. There must be something unique about it, like the button in the tail lamp that opens up the tailgate on the Tundra. Something like that could be on the next Tacoma, or maybe some other new feature that they will add to it. Once again, thank you for joining me. Check out alltfl.com for everything automotive in one place. Thanks.